Welcome to day 4 of 5 Days Live. And as I move the card down, we're good to see the 3 of us here today. And I say hello, RJ.
Hello, Stephen.
And hello, David.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, RJ. Nice to see you, RJ. We haven't chatted in a while.
It's been too long, my friend. We need to activate our world domination plan anyway. So
we can fix that.
Yeah. We can start today.
We could start today.
We just did.
Well, you're saying you've got 3 shows there, David. So world domination started.
Yeah. No, well, not today, but it's got a busy day ahead. That's for sure.
Right.
That's why I'm going to save my voice.
Indeed. Say hello to Rebecca. And I didn't know what to set as a topic today, so we set it New Horizons, and essentially, well, I'll sort of have a go. It's about broadcasting outside Facebook. We've honed our skills on Facebook Live for the last 2 years, and now we're looking further afield, and we're looking at the possibilities. And as I go off and have a little chat with Bridgetti, I'll hand over to RJ and David, who will definitely be talking about eCam and Castor.io and other things interesting. I'll see you shortly.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so this is an interesting topic because for me, I'm always looking to, I want to be relevant on other platforms as well. I think, once, and you can give me your opinion, David, but once you've done kind of a lot of broadcasting, once you've got your wings, and your content is good and solid, then you can kind of start looking beyond, okay, I'm on Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm not leaving, but where else can I go? And how can I be relevant on those platforms and not just making doing the same thing and sending it everywhere and hoping it will work, because I've got caught in that trap too.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point there right at the end of not getting caught in the trap of when we broadcast, we want every single person on the planet to stop what they're doing and watch us. That's just not a reality, right? I mean, we want the numbers, we want the views, and of course we need to do that to grow. But I was in that time too where, okay, I'm going to go, and this will lead into things like Restream that we're going to talk about. Okay, when I go live, I'm going to go live here. I'm going to go live everywhere. And I do that sometimes with some of the things that I do, but I don't do it for everything, because it's not, like you said, a great word, it's not relevant. It's not my audience. And it's almost hurting yourself if your content is going live on a platform or to an audience that is not relevant. Yeah. You're not only wasting your own time, you're wasting their time. Mm-hmm. You're kind of like in the way, right?
Right. One of the things that I do in my business is I'm always looking at, okay, what is noise out there? I'm fighting the noise, and trying to add. I want my content to be something that stands out. I don't want to be the noise. I don't want to thoughtlessly go, yeah, I'll do this on Periscope too. This will be great. I got caught in that trap. It was probably about a year ago that I had a product called Live Leap, which a lot of people use. Good product. And I was doing that. I was broadcasting out to many, many channels at a time. It can be super great, and it can be a little daunting too, because one of the things that I like to do is I really want to respond to all the questions and all the comments. if you've got a question about bots, I want to answer it, baby. But when you are, going out to that much stuff at once, it's impossible to keep track of everything. So did you have any experience with that?
With LiveLeap?
Yeah, or a platform like it.
Yeah, no, not LiveLeap. Well, like I say, I would use and still do use something called Restream.io. And I even last night I did a broadcast, and so I normally would go live to when I do my hockey games, for example, and I do that commentary. I do go live in multiple platforms. I go live to YouTube, not because I have an audience there, because I want that video stored there, and it creates and it creates a presence so Google can find me a little more. I do go live on Periscope, Twitter, because there is an audience for that topic there, and of course Facebook. I was also going live to a platform called Twitch.
Yeah.
And for something that I did last night, it was people giving speeches and talking about whatever. I didn't go live on Twitch because I don't have that audience on Twitch yet.
Right.
I have an audience on Twitch, but it's not a hockey audience. It's not motivational speakers audience. It's mostly a gaming audience. So what's the point? Another place to archive videos? And I found when I was doing it, I went back to those videos. Guess how many views they were getting?
Yeah.
Literally. Mm-hmm. So what's the point, right? There may come a time for that because of what Twitch is doing, but we can come to that back in a little bit. But I think like it all comes down to that relevancy. Is your audience interested in what you're doing there?
Well, and for those of you who don't know, let me back up here. That Twitch is and it started out as something that you could watch to see people play games, video games mostly. David and Son often compete on Twitch with video games, and it is fascinating to watch these two because I've done it many, many times.
Oh, okay.
Just know that I put you guys up sometimes, and I'm watching on my screen here just because I love it. So Twitch started out as a video game streaming service, and that's kind of how it was born. And then it started growing because it turns out people like to watch other people play video games. And then it grew and it added Twitch Creative, which is not only can you see people do video games there, but now you can see people paint, create costumes, make wood crafts, you name it, somebody making it on Twitch. And so that's what Twitch is. And lately I've heard, but I have not yet found evidence that they're wanting content creators to come over to Twitch.
I can confirm.
You can confirm. Is there an article or something you can point me to?
No, it's just they've opened the door so it used to actually be a policy of theirs that you could not broadcast unless it was gaming.
Oh yeah.
If you went on and just sat there and talked, they would boot you out.
Yeah.
Yes, they've opened that door up to everything. They have actually categories called talk shows and podcasts.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they're bring it on, right? They're wanting everybody to be creative, and yes, there's people who sit down and this is how I paint, and this is all that stuff, and they're taking on some they're taking on some big things by doing that, right? They know the world that they're going to compete in. They're owned by Amazon, right?
Yep.
So it's not like they're going to not have any backing to make this work, right? And they're on the right track, in my opinion, because like gaming, when you play a game, you reach a level by doing something. You achieve something and you go to the next level. And Twitch has laid that out in the back office for you, the user. So in order to reach affiliate, you have to do this, 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 and this. And it shows you as you achieve each one.
Yeah, they gamified it.
Right? Absolutely. And it's very encouraging. Like I remember when I just made affiliate, like, I don't know, a week or two ago. And I kept going in there and like, oh, okay, I got it. Oh, I got that done. Oh, cool. Like I was like a kid. I was like, ooh, you know. and as soon as you hit affiliate, you get as immediately as it happens, you get an instant notification to you that says you've just hit affiliate. And it's they're very smart in how they've done that. I'm fortunate because of being where I am at the college now. I have a very close relationship with Twitch. And there are some amazing things coming with Twitch.
That makes me excited because one of the things that I've thought of is, and one thing you can do on Twitch too, people, there's a Bob Ross marathon every single weekend. You certainly can, if you're in a tough mood.
And some people think he's still alive.
I know, and it's absolutely hilarious. Now, here's why. So it's gaming focused, but they're now opening up that focus. And here's the thing: if you remember Blab at all, it's kind of close to the experience, in that people you don't know can fly in there and, hang out with you for a while and fly back out again. You develop a community of people. Getting discovered on the Twitch front page, you just won't. I mean, it's...
Don't say that.
Sorry.
Don't never say never.
Okay, I'll never say never. But it's not something you can expect on the first day, probably.
No.
But when markets are new, when stuff is new, that's a great time to go in and claim your. So
there's to say to that, there's, I believe, 140 million people on Twitch, and there's, I don't know how many billion on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So and one of the things I do on Twitch, it's a bit of a numbers game no matter what platform you're on, right? If everybody's playing Fortnite, everybody go and watch Fortnite, okay? So my son loves Fortnite. I like Fortnite. It's fun, but everybody's playing it. So on my channel, what I do is I play different games that aren't as popular, because when people are browsing and they find somebody that's playing not as popular game as Fortnite, and the top guy's got 20 viewers and there's only 4 people actually streaming that game, you stand a better chance of being discovered. If you go into Fortnite and people want to watch Fortnite, you're competing with Ninja, Shroud, who have 70,000 concurrent viewers. And then there's hundreds, thousands of people playing it. So your chances of being discovered are like this, right? So and Twitch, to kind of go back to that main screen thing, they will give everybody an opportunity. If you reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing this, they're pretty open to, they're very communicative with their audience. Yeah.
They really are. I have noticed this, and one of the things that I've thought about for my business, because I've got the little black belt bots page in there. I do. Yep. One of the things I've thought about is doing like labeling it a creative stream and building bots on there.
Absolutely. You should be doing that, I would think.
Would you watch that?
Why wouldn't I? I mean, I would if I'm interested in bots.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not interested in bots that day, no, but that's no different than anywhere else. But yeah, absolutely. There's go through all the categories. There's people doing programming.
There's definitely people doing programming,
coding, and how to build apps and how to, like, there are huge communities on Twitch, and you said that earlier. You build a community just like you do on any platform, but there's a lot of engagement. People on Twitch are more engaging than any other platform I've been on.
They surely are. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about New Horizons. We're talking about we're talking about broadcasting beyond just Facebook Live, because there are many places now, and Twitch is ample space to spread your wings in. I think that the main thing about going and spreading your wings in another space is that it's not going to work if you don't want to be part of the community there.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, there's people that go and watch your stream and don't say hi in the chat, RJ.
Yeah.
But
oh, you mean me, don't you? Damn it.
But it's it is a very engaging community, and it's there's a lot of opportunity there. Now, as we're talking about this, don't get me wrong, folks. It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
But the opportunity is that it's still very, you say 140 million. There's still lots of room for growth there, and if you can position yourself right in Twitch, and I think one of the advantages of Twitch too is that it does have all these categories. Go through the categories on there and go, oh, painting, oh, bot building, oh, bot building. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody else on Twitch that's even doing that.
That's the truth. Well, there's some, but they're different bots than what I build. I build
Right.
messenger bots. There is one show that I watch, a guy who, he's really great, by the way. He's really very laid back, and he programs, actually programs bots for Twitch.
Oh,
So they're the bots that run. These bots are different than what I create, but they
like
run
the night bots and the channel bots. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he programs the channel bot for Penny Arcade, whom I watch a lot. So yeah, there is a little bit of that on there, but what I'm really seeking to do, because I do the same thing for YouTube. I know it's a search engine, so I want my stuff on there, but it's an archive. This is not a community that I'm trying to build. This is not where I'm trying to be seen. I don't think that's my spot. I just honestly don't think that's my spot. It's not a community I want to be a part of.
No.
But the Twitch community, Twitch is owned by Amazon. And if you're thinking that, and I've made this mistake in the past about Twitch, if you're thinking that it's only 20-somethings that play games and want to watch other people play games, you're deeply wrong about this.
It's funny because when I first got on Twitch, and I've had a Twitch channel for probably 3 years, but I only really engaged it in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I I created it. Anyway, I'm 49 years old. So when I get in the channels, and I do run into, probably because of my son, we hang out on a lot of the same channels. We've accidentally discovered some other players that are actually from Sarnia that are in the same class that Jason's taking at the college. So, but I'm the dad in a lot of the channels. When
sure,
I get teased, and I'm my humor. I got a great sense of humor, I think, and I get in there and the guys get talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, but you don't know, and I'm talking like the old guy, right? But there are a lot of us old guys out there, and there's a huge audience of women.
Really?
There's a lot of women broadcasters.
Yeah.
And there's definitely male dominance in the gaming world as far as very competitively, but that's growing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like poker, you didn't see a lot of women in poker, and now there's a lot of women in poker, and that's kind of happening in the gaming world, right? So, which is awesome. But there's a lot of different age groups, a lot of different types of communities in the Twitch world. I would encourage anybody to go. That's twitch.tv. Go there, experience it, figure it out. It might be for you. It might not be for you, but there's a lot of categories there, man, and it's growing. So I would encourage someone to check it out.
It's really interesting. It's very interesting. It's not just watching people play video games, although I love doing that. But the real reason I've known that Twitch was there forever. But I got interested in watching Twitch about a little over a year ago. I'm a huge gamer. I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons person, and there's a lot of live games on Twitch. There's one of them that it was basically held in this guy's house, and they decided to broadcast, and now they're like 80,000 views, concurrent. They're ridiculous because they were the first one, and now a whole bunch of other ones have come up. So yeah, I mean, it's, to me, that I think it would be very interesting to do an experiment over there for myself, and just go, okay, I wonder who's going to want to watch me build a bot, and kind of do that, because there's an audience to be discovered over there, and that audience, and if you're looking for a kind of nerdy geeky audience, that's over on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna find. If your entrepreneurs are nerdy and geeky and you're looking for entrepreneurs, go over there. Nerdy geeky, that's the category.
Yeah.
Plenty of men, plenty of women, plenty of, folks that are, a little youngish, and a lot of, I mean, I think the ages are all over the board. So that's kind of what interests me. So that's kind of what I have about Twitch. But, as I look at the different channels that I can start to broadcast to, what makes me think one over the other is the audience, is the audience that's hanging out over there part of a community that I want to be part of? That wasn't worded very well. More coffee. More coffee, David. Can you say it better than I did?
I'm not sure.
I understood perfect. Not a problem at all. I just want to, if I may, 'cause Bridget, we knew there were going to be 3 hours on screen, and now 3 hours on screen, all is good. I just want to wind back a bit. We're talking about Twitch. At the moment, we're on BeLive.tv, okay? And everything's set up for us. We can come straight in here. We can start a show. There's no problem. But we can't go anywhere but Facebook. We know that. So how do we actually set about getting on Twitch or Periscope or YouTube from our desktops? And that's whether they're Macs or PCs, or we're using our phone, whether it be iOS or Android. What are the best ways of getting from where we are now to one of those channels?
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So if I can live through it, pardon me. So that requires a little. There isn't really something as simple as like BeLive to just go on to Twitch, right? I guess it depends on your level, but I use Open Broadcaster software, or short form is OBS, and that does take some learning, right? There's so much that you can do, so much integration that you can do with OBS. Not just it's not just for Twitch. You can go live pretty well anywhere using Open Broadcast software. But it's the most popular one, because it's free, Open Broadcaster software, so it's open source, and it has a huge community of support, and it's pretty much the choice of Twitch users. And I've looked at different ones as well, but I've stayed with OBS. But there's a learning curve there. But that's something that YouTube is good for. It's how I learned it, quite honestly. And then there are some, you can go live from your phone. Twitch has a mobile app that you can, if you can imagine a phone in my hand there, but it's limited at this point. You can go live. It's basically for IRL, which is basically internet reality, right? What's IRL? I forget what it stands for.
In real life.
In real life. Thank you. What did I say? Internet reality.
You did internet reality.
Well, okay. There, I invented a word. Trademark. Okay. So that's probably some of the things you'll see in the future with Twitch, as I'm expanding on that app. But OBS is something that's worth looking into if you're going to get, going into that level. And that's probably one of the, I don't want to be negative, but that's probably one of the sort of the downfalls of Twitch is to be able to get on it. You do have to use something like OBS and have that kind of level of experience. So that's why they're working on some other options there. So.
Well, there's also some other other options that you were talking about there. For me, I've got because I have a Mac, I can use Ecamm Live to get on there. Right. Ecamm Live will give me overlays. It'll give me I can see the chat. It'll give me a lot of power there. Only if you have a Mac though. So PC users, the official apology has been, issued.
You sound so sincere.
I do. Oh boy. Well, hey, the day that I got my wife off of a PC and onto a Mac finally was a beautiful day in my world because I no longer have to fix PCs, people. So that's my thing. But there are some other for Twitch. There are some other broadcasting stuff that you can use. I know there's one called Game Show that you can use. That's a product that's like $30 or something like that.
Yeah.
I've
heard of it.
So it'll allow you to do if you go to Twitch, you'll often see that there's a person down in the corner and then there's the game kind of playing. It'll allow you to do frame in frame like that. And set up certain frames for when when your station is offline, basically. So there's a lot of different products that you can do. If you find OBS is free, but it isn't free because it's your time.
Yeah.
If you are a geek like David and I, you can totally, elbow grease and learn how to use that bad boy. But if it frustrates you, or if it's overwhelming, try making a search because there's a lot of things out there. They're paid, like this. That Game Show was like $30, and that's like a lifetime access type of a thing. Ecamm, it was $30 at the time I signed up for it, and that's a lifetime access thing. So there are other systems out there to help you connect into Twitch, but there's no like Facebook. You can go on Facebook without even getting into BeLive. You can go in natively, which I just use BeLive because it's better. But you can go in natively to Facebook. You cannot do that with Twitch. No. You've got to have something you're broadcasting in with. So
that's right. I see, and Steven's mentioning Win Broadcaster. That's something that I played around with it for a little bit. It's got lots of features. It takes some playing around with, though. I think everything every software is personality oriented too, right? I mean, as far as I'm playing with it, I don't like that one, so I go over to this one, and then we find the one. Oh yeah, I'm comfortable with that, and I can understand that. So, just experiment, right? There's definitely a world of choices out there when it comes to software to use for broadcasting. And again, I don't know about Game Show, but does Ecamm let you go live on anywhere else, or is that just for Twitch? Or
Ecamm Live, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope. It's got 4 or 5 places. I was just looking at it yesterday. 4 or 5 places, but nothing simultaneous. Which we might take a few minutes and cover that topic as well.
Sure. Yeah, well, and I know, I think another one, is it Cam Broadcaster? Is that another one, I think? Is that what it's called? Yeah. I have that somewhere. It will actually, the certain version will let you, on Cam Broadcaster, will let you go to multiple channels using the RTMP link. But I think what RJ is leading into is Restream and Caster for rebroadcasting. Caster.io, fairly new, at least to publicly, and they're doing some great things. And basically what happens with Caster or Restream, it lets you take an RTMP link, which is your broadcast link, and it takes your feed and rebroadcasts it out to multiple platforms. Was kind of what we were talking about earlier. And that's a great thing, sort of.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, kind of like what we talked about earlier, you know, as to, okay, oh, great, I can go live to 30 different places and and everybody's going to see me. And okay, and you might get lucky on a few of those platforms. But like you said, you know, you've got to engage with your audience. And if you're going live to all these places, I don't even think the $6 million man could do it. Like, you just can't get back to replying to everybody. So you're really not, you're spending time broadcasting, but you're really not spending any time engaging with your community that you're trying to create, or that at least you should be trying to create a community, in my opinion. You don't just go live and hope that it works. You have to market. You have to talk to people. You have to create relationships. And that takes time, and you have to work at it.
And to me, it also takes knowing your community, knowing that you want to be part of that community, and not just broadcasting your show. Go watch other people's broadcasts.
Yes.
Go be a part of their communities as well. And that way, when you go on, then they're more likely to go, oh, that person's around, I might go watch them. That's one of the things that reminds me of Blab about Twitch, is that you can see who's on, who in your friend group is online right now. And you can go and hit on that and go and see what they're doing. That's one of the features that Blab used to have. But for me, the only way, and this just occurred to me, but you're going to laugh in a second, because of course this would occur to me, is if you were really going live in that many places. And as far as I know, in all of the, with Caster and with Restream and all this stuff, and you can correct me, David, if I'm wrong, but I still am not seeing the unified screen where everybody's comments are coming in from all the different channels.
You can do that with Restream.
Oh, Restream. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Think Caster's got, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I saw something that they do. But yeah, you can on Restream.
Okay.
There's a multiple chat, whatever you're connected. Now, I don't know that works for every single platform that they have, that they give you access to rebroadcast to. But I do know that I can bring up YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch, and have it on a screen, and it's all intertwined.
All intertwined.
And it tells you where it comes from. This comment came from Twitch, so you can interact with all of that. However, here it comes, folks. That can be a little. I'm a man. I'm not good at multitasking. Okay, so it can be a little bit of a learning curve to. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, he said that. Oh, where was that from? YouTube. Oh, and by the way, I'm still talking to you. Like that takes a little practice, right?
Yes, I mean, to me, that would be intimidating to keep up with all of them, especially as your audience grows. That would be. I mean, you know, I don't have a hard time. I mean, I've gotten to where I can keep up with the comments and still keep on track.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to respond to every single thing, you're going to be in trouble, because the people that came for the content are going to get bored with you saying hi to everyone.
Yeah. And that's
we all learned from Periscope, right?
Yeah, right. You know, I think you do. There's a way to do that. I mean, I'm talking about responding on keyboard, right? Which takes time, but yeah, you can. Twitch is a really good example. You go on to Ninja's channel. He's playing Fortnite, and he's got 70,000 concurrent viewers. It just goes. It's insane. Like, it's insane. It just blows my mind. But every once in a while, he glances over and he looks for something, and he catches it, and it might be you. And he says, and he makes a comment. Oh, da 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 da, and then away he goes, and then he starts talking. Twitch especially is more. The broadcaster's not really typing in the chat. It's more talking to the audience constantly, right? Yeah, it's a bit of it's a skill to be learned.
Well, and you do it differently on Twitch for sure.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that different channels do it differently, because there are channels that if you type in the word question, it'll highlight that and that'll highlight it and make it stand out more, so there are different things that you can program into your channel to make that happen. But of course,
there's a lot of automation there too.
There's a lot of automation. There are bots that are not my kind of bots, obviously. They're different bots, but there are things that you can pay for, and there are things that are free that you can add in that will help you deal with. And on Twitch too, trolls Exist on the Twitch. Yeah, it doesn't happen to me nearly as often in Facebook Live, but
there's actually, I'll tell you an interesting story about trolls. We were playing Kahoot. Do you know what Kahoot is? No. So Kahoot's like it's an educational tool for teachers, but it's turned into, you can go in there and it's trivia, and you can use the phone app to respond, that kind of thing. It's quite popular. And anyway, I was streaming Kahoot, and we got raided. So what that means is and I fortunately found the block for it. People were coming in, and when they enter in the game pin and then a name, it just spams, and it takes the name and it just keeps entering that name over and over and over. So next thing you know, it looks like you have 2,000 people playing the game with the same name. So you can imagine some of the names that appear. So I was like, really? Like, we're having fun here, and you got to come in and do, like, come on. So I had to go find a way to make sure that hopefully doesn't happen. But yes, they're out there. The trolls are there. The raiders are there. But it's something to be aware of. It's not a big enough problem to be scared.
Oh, yeah.
To go in. I mean, it's not, nobody's doing anything real harmful that I can see on Twitch or whatever. But that's a whole other story. But I'm just wondering, I see who's out there. I just want to say hello to some people. So we do engage here. Hello, Cheryl's out there. Thanks for, Cheryl. Nice to see you, Cheryl. Guy had to take off. Corinner's out there, right? So anyway, moving on.
Okay, apologies from Bridgetti. She has a patient, as we know, and the patient is in recovery, and everything is heading the right way, but she's not able to broadcast at the moment. So she wishes everybody well, and we wish Bridgetti and her husband well too. Just to go on for a moment, there's a couple of systems that you could use as well. Minicam's one of them, long-standing system if you want to broadcast anywhere via RTMP.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So I've been watching and listening and learning, especially about Twitch. Now, Periscope. Do either of you go live on Periscope?
Yeah, I do.
And how do you go live on Periscope?
This kind of comes into that whole relevance that RJ was talking about earlier. When I do the hockey games and I go live, so just to kind of set this up, so it's about a 15-minute live broadcast before the game and then in between each period. We talk, myself and Jay Peckham talk about the game, and those 15 minutes are an audience of hockey, and that's a wide audience. So when I go live on Facebook, obviously I have a big audience on Facebook already, so it's very relevant, and because it's local. And I do have a large following on Twitter as well, so it's relevant there. I go live, well, actually I should say I used to go live on YouTube, but I don't go live to YouTube anymore because I use repurpose.io, and it takes it and puts it there for me anyway, right? So I don't have to go live there. And Twitch, I was going live there, but anyway, to come back to your question, that yes, Periscope, it's a good audience because there's so many. What am I trying to say? There's a lot of people on Twitter, right? So there's a lot of relevance there because I have that large following on Twitter. If I only had a few people following me, there would be no point unless I wanted to grow that audience there. So, but I get, hundreds of views on Facebook. On Periscope, when we go live there, I'll get about 20.
Yeah.
So even though I have, about 1,600 followers, they're not all watching that. So, but I do see some relevance there.
Yeah, I've never really. I've periscoped a couple of times, but the culture there is just a little bit different. The community there is a bit different, and so I've never really gotten into let's periscope. I know that some people have had a wonderful time with it, but for me, it just there seem to be a lot of trolls, and Twitter does not care about trolls. They don't care. Yeah, they're completely tone deaf to a troll problem. And so since Twitter owns Periscope now, that's it just kind of goes on to into that software. So I haven't spread my wings there yet. I've taken a look at the community a few times, and I've been, wait, is this where I really want to be? I do have a large-ish. 3,000 or so. I got 3,000 or so on Twitter, but yeah, the Twitter community itself is not a place where I spend any time. I know that other people in other industries love it, but for me, it's always been it's been so surface that it's never, I've never really, just the way that it's constructed has been surface to me. But again, that's an example of, if you're thinking of spreading your wings, pick a community where you fit the culture and the culture fits you, and you'll have a lot more luck spreading your wings someplace besides Facebook. So
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, for the gaming world, for example, it's at the Twitch world. Twitter's a great place to be, because if you're on Twitch, if you're growing a community on Twitch, you need to be on Twitter. Quite honestly, the two are used integratively. Is that a word?
It's a good word.
It's a word now, baby.
Stamp that one again. So I use Twitch for that, and honestly, the hockey team here in Sarnia uses Twitter a lot during the games, so that audience is there for me. I don't use Periscope as to say Periscope is my world, and that's where I'm gonna find my fame. That's Facebook for me, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't use it all the time. Again, when it's relevant to what I'm doing, that's what I use it for. But like last night, I did a broadcast, say, of all these speakers. It was called Ignite, and every speaker had 5 minutes to talk. So I went live on multiple platforms, Facebook and Periscope, because I knew there was an audience for it on Periscope. So again, I keep coming to that relevance, and you put a really good example there. You say, if it's your culture, if it's your place to be, then yeah, right.
Yeah, and yeah, if you're surrounded by folks who use and love, you're obviously going to want to dive into that as well. Right. So if you're picking a place besides Facebook to spread your wings, look at where you're already hanging out, and maybe for completely other reasons. I was watching Dungeons and Dragons and thinking, I'll never be able to, broadcast on here because I'm not relevant on here. But then when I got hold of some of the creative channels and started watching some of those, it's like, no, I could really, I could develop audience and engage people here too by doing something entirely different. And this is another thing that's interesting. You have with TVSN, you have a lot of different show types. Mm-hmm. You have, you're broadcasting with your son, you have, Celebrate Sarnia, that type of hosting stuff that you do. There's sports, there's a lot of different topics. And so do you find, I think you were covering this a little bit at the beginning, do you find that with the different topics go better on different channels, so to speak?
Yeah. You mean like different topics go better on different platforms?
But different platforms, different, okay, right. Yeah.
Well, and TVSN, the Video Show Network, kind of runs itself now, and I've gone through a bit of a brand change there. When I was at a hockey game, for example, I would go live on TVSN and not on the show. And I've changed that. When I'm at a hockey game, I go live on the show. I don't go live on TVSN. I share it over there. And the reason is people just said, what's this TVSN, like locally, on a local in my city level? They're like, you're the show. So just go live on the show. Who are all these other people going live on TVSN? Who are these people, right? That's what I was getting. So then I realized TVSN has actually become what I've always wanted to be, which is like a hub, you know, almost the same as like the live video hub that Steven has. But to your question, yeah, different topics work better in different platforms than others. Mm-hmm. At this point, for example, let's talk gaming. Twitch is the place to be. Mm-hmm. But Facebook's working on that.
Oh, they sure are, aren't they?
I just became a level up creator on Facebook. So
nice.
And they want they'll credit me for all my lives, but they really want me to do the gaming there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because I really got it going on Twitch, right? And I don't want to go from there and go over to there and go, oh, would I go live in both places? You can't go live in both places if you're an affiliate or partner on Twitch. You're not allowed to do that. Facebook doesn't want you doing that either. And you know what? I think and I'm glad that they make it that way, because if I'm doing well on Twitch and it's growing and it's incredible, the growth I see daily, why would I take some of that away? Why would I go on Twitch and say, and by the way, I'll be live over here? Like, it's not relevant again, right? But there's definitely different platforms for different subjects. I just want to respond to Cheryl out there. She had a question. Is Periscope a predominantly younger audience? I don't know. I'd be guessing. Do you have any background on that, RJ, of what that audience group would be? Or
I think that one's all over the place. Yeah. You know, when I was checking out Periscope, I was kind of you know, just bouncing around watching a lot of different stuff, and it feels like there's such a wide variation of content on there, that it stands, and since, you know, owned by Twitter, and their demographic is all over the place. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that it's just young people on Periscope. I wouldn't say that. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cheryl's also asking, is there a platform that works well with LinkedIn for streaming? I don't think LinkedIn allows streaming yet. I know they allow videos.
They just, you know, started with, hey, you can put a 10-minute video on there, 10 minutes or less. So no streaming. Microsoft owns LinkedIn, and so it's 3 steps behind everybody else.
Stat.
Evil laughter.
My friends, I always said my friends stab in the front, everybody else stabs in the back.
So they've done the video thing, which has been really nice. And hopefully they'll, you know, that's the platform that I get asked most when I go to conferences and stuff. That's what people say. Do you write bots for LinkedIn? I'm like, they don't exist on LinkedIn, and it's gonna be a while. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully they'll catch the live video bug as well at some point. I don't know. What do you think, David? You're not so enthusiastic.
I hope they don't go there.
Really?
I think LinkedIn's got their own. It's strictly business. I mean, create a presence on LinkedIn and guide them over to whatever platform you're on. I don't know. It doesn't turn my crank at all. I just, you know, I think there's certain places for streaming and there's certain places to do other things, and I don't know. We'll see. I could care less either way if they do. Put it that way. I use LinkedIn. You know, my stuff gets shared from my Facebook over to LinkedIn, but I'm not actually really active. Like I'm not engaging on LinkedIn. Maybe I should be. But,
I don't know. I don't think everybody should engage on every platform. I mean,
you know, speaking of, sorry, there is a platform we have not mentioned in any of this.
What is that?
And they're going to feel left out if we don't talk about Instagram.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right. You know, you can go live on Instagram, and I use Instagram, but I don't go live on it too. Once in a while, I'm feeling a little extra inspired that day. I go live and go, hey, what's going on? But I'm not really building an audience there as far as live streaming goes, but I do use it quite frequently for pictures. I'm active that way.
Yeah.
And it's a great platform for getting response, and using Instagram has really helped me build my live streaming on Facebook and on Twitch. So
tell me how.
You know, darn it. Here's what's an example. Okay. I have father versus son on Monday nights. You know, I might share a picture of Jason and I, or whatever, kind of a promo pic. And I'll say, hey, we're getting ready to go live, or we're going live tomorrow, or whatever that looks like, and come check us out, kind of thing. And then it's also, because of what I do in the community, it's very relevant. Instead of going live all the time, I'll take a picture of, oh, you know, hey, I'm over here, and I'm over here. It's more of it's kind of like that photographic reality show, right? So it's kind of like cross promo, I guess you could say. But I try to do, I mean, I do it. I just said do. I do use it for shameless self-promotion, but I try not to do it to the point where that's all it is. I kind of throw that in once in a while. What people really want to see on Instagram is, what are you up to? Where are you? That's what they want to see on Instagram. And it's very quick, right? Take a picture, post it, done. So it's helped grow that way.
I like Instagram. I've not really jumped in there with both feet. I'm looking to see how IGTV works out, which if you weren't aware, out there in the audience, Instagram TV is a vertical video. Take it with your phone. And I think it's a 10-minute limit, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, actually.
I think you can do 1 hour now.
Oh, you can do 1 hour now? Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's vertical video, which is different. But
that's recorded though.
Yeah, it's recorded. It's not live. So people often kind of edit that a little bit and do that. So that's not another place you can live stream to. But I've been kind of looking at that and seeing, you know, what works on there, what doesn't work on there, because it's something new, so I got to try it. But I think that my most important consideration when thinking about New Horizons is, is this a community that you want to engage with? It's the community engagement part, because if I'm going to build a presence, I'm not just going to put my own shows on there and that's it and hope people come. I'm going to go watch other people's shows, right, and I'm going to engage with them too, just like I do on Facebook. And then the other thing is there a part of what I do, just like what you were talking about with Instagram? You're not doing talk shows on Instagram. You're not recording those things and putting them on Instagram. What you're doing is you're doing something that fits the community there. When I go over to Twitch to do some experiments, I'm going to be building bots. I'm not going to be, my show is basically talking about bots, what you could do with bots. It's much more conceptual. When I noticed that whenever I turned over into a step-by-step show you how thing, my viewership just dropped off like a cliff. So I stopped doing that real early on, but I'm thinking, building a bot, building something over on Twitch and engaging with the community there would be a great way to grow an audience. So those are the two considerations for me when I'm looking at New Horizons: is what aspect of my work it would be interesting to people on this platform, and is this a place that I will care enough to build a community on?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's great to want to be everywhere, but you just can't.
You can technically, but you're adding to the noise is what you're doing.
That's what I mean. You're not really there, right? It's kind of like, and Instagram has a feature, where when you post it, you can just tap a switch and it'll automatically share it to Twitter and Facebook. Should we do that? It's been a debatable topic. Should we do that? I will do that when I'm at the Sting games, because I'm just sharing quick information to an audience that I have, which is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. So it's quick, right? It's here's a picture and there's the score. Boom, it shares it. But if I'm doing something other than that immediate need to know thing, I'm sharing a score. They want to know it now, right? If it's just a picture of here I am and I'm sharing that everywhere because I want everybody to see it, people don't engage with it as much because they see, he's on Instagram. He's not really on Facebook, because it tells them shared by Instagram, right? So I try to avoid that. I take the time to go around and share whatever I'm going to share directly to the platform. But anyway, that's a little off topic. But Instagram is a great place to be for multiple categories.
Yeah.
It really is another multiple category type place to be. And what do we got? I just want to make sure we're engaging out there. Where are we?
There's a question from Cheryl. So me and my lack of knowledge, if I have a video that wasn't shot vertically, can I still post it to Instagram? And it just adapts it.
You can try to crop it in vertical, and that's something that I was looking at doing. Is that you can take your video editing software and say, I want the frame of this video to be, I can't remember. I think it's 760 by 1020 or something like that. You can do that. It might look good cropped and it might not. But yeah, that would be how I would go about that. Cheryl, is just take the video that you already have and crop it and see if it looks good. And if it doesn't, reshoot on your phone. Make it easy on yourself and reshoot on your phone.
Yeah, I good answer. I didn't know that one, so I've never tried that. Try it.
Yeah. Just
upload it and try it. See what it looks like. You can always delete it.
I use a little program called Lumen 5 that you can make a video in it, and then you can make it landscape, you can make it square, you can make it IGTV vertical.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to be on the pro plan. But you can make it those three sizes. What you do is you can make it on one size, and then you can edit the video and save it again in another size, so that it will go out to the correct platform, correct size for the correct platform. That's pretty neat. Sometimes you got to change the pictures a little bit because it doesn't really compute very well. Sometimes the pictures don't transfer over as well, but that's a minimal amount of work. So yeah.
Clara was adding out there saying I was converting it to vertical from horizontal through Screenomatic.
Screenomatic.
It's karaoke time, Stephen. Come on back.
When the singing starts.
Look, he's back.
Between you, would you like to close the show? And then
what?
I'll close it.
It's over?
Over. It's been an hour. It's been a fascinating hour. We've all learned a lot, but we are getting close to the time when my next show's got to go live. Subtle hint.
Subtle hint.
Nudge saying them all.
No, you're okay. Carry on.
You go, RJ.
All right. Well, just parting thoughts. It is possible and good to spread your wings beyond Facebook, but there's just a couple of considerations to take into account, and it's really common sense stuff. If you meet a social media person who says you've got to be everywhere, you've got to be doing these things, why aren't you on Pinterest right now? Take a breath, back away, focus on one thing at a time, and you will have a lot more success. Maybe eventually you'll be everywhere. Fantastic, darling. But you grow properly without creating a whole bunch of noise and a whole bunch of problems for yourself. You grow properly just one platform at a time. So that's what I would say is my big takeaway.
This is quite probably unique in that I'm live in 2 places.
Okay. Not sure what's happening there. Be live,
Not sure
live now. Oh, that's it. Oh, he started his next show.
Oh, well,
right.
we gotta go.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, I echo what RJ said. You know, timing's important too, right? Focus. I say start in one spot. If you're start in one spot. Focus on building that. I mean, I've been on Facebook for years doing my show. I just moved into Twitch 6 months ago, right? And then I really got engaged like a month ago. And I'm building a different category of my personality that goes in there, right? So start in one spot, maybe help promote yourself in other spots. Just go live in one spot for now, but then you can spread your wings out, like RJ said, and experiment. Just try it, but pay attention to it. Because you're building that community, you've got to appreciate your viewers and you've got to engage with them. If you're not doing that, you're just making noise, like RJ said, right? So that's my final thoughts here. Back to you, Stephen.
Well,
back to you in the control room.
Back to you in the control room. So we'll be back 5 days live. We'll be back tomorrow. I forget. I see a bye on there. 5 days live. We'll be back tomorrow. I forget what the topic is, but please do join us right here at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and wherever the heck you are in the world. Thank you so much from us, and bye-bye.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, RJ.